You may pass through the screening process with all other belongings, including cell phones, keys, and bags.
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. Today, we are here for the very first time at Kings freaking Island. This is the park I've been wanting to do for so long, and we're here. I'm also joined by Scott, and I'm meeting him for the first time today too, which is even more amazing.
I'm so excited.
To make things even better, the park is in the middle of their 50th anniversary celebration, so I'm sure we'll be checking out a lot of that along the way too. So I just want to hop in and explore. So without any further ado, let the adventures begin. Gopher in line for Diamondback, and there's Diamondback itself. Have some of the nano coasters on display here at Diamondback's exit, including some retro ones. That was the stand-up, whose name I forget, but very similar to Skyrider at Wonderland. They have the Bat's carriage here too. I need one of these. Okay, first ride of the day, we did Diamondback, their B&M Hyper. It was fun. I thought it was really strong at the beginning, but then the last kind of half, I thought it was a little too slow. Like those last couple of airtime hills before the splashdown could have been faster. The layout definitely has potential, so we'll have to ride this one later and see how it does, but not bad for a start.
I'm not saying, I just love it. I'm a sucker for it.
Okay, we did Mystic Timbers and it was amazing. Oh my goodness, such a fun coaster all the way around, from the theming and the backstory to of course the actual ride experience. So much airtime. I mean, I have really grown fond of wooden coasters lately, and I gotta say Mystic Timbers is definitely among one of my favorites now. And the shed, I mean, say what you want about it, it's cute. I like it. It's kitschy and it's adorable, and I will not stand any slander against the shed. But yeah, Mystic Timbers overall, great ride.
I have slander against the shed.
Cancelled.
It's been ordered for Myaamia.
There it is, chugging along. You can do it, little buddy. I believe in you. Keep going, you're like halfway there. There she goes. Okay, and that was my first time riding the Beast. What a classic. It was so good. I mean, it's not the most thrilling or most intense coaster ever, but it is pure fun. It really is. It's an adventure, and I love coasters that go on little adventures like that. You really feel like you're way out in the boonies, and yeah, it was so fun. I'm a fan.
Forever one of my favorites. I'll never get over that second helix where it just plain through the sea.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, I love it so much.
And tunnels! You gotta love tunnels. I'm a fan of tunnels. And there are lots of them. Actually, this ride reminds me a lot of Dragon Mountain at Marineland, where you feel like you're just going on in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's very fun. Oh my goodness, I think we're back home at Canada's Wonderland. The fact that we don't have these at Wonderland is baffling to me though. Those are so cute. Just stumbled across this big open area here. I feel like this would be a good spot for a roller coaster. It is lunchtime. We are in Cincinnati, or close to it. We're in Mason, Ohio, technically. But we're going to Skyline. This is honestly one of my bucket list food places for this trip, so I'm glad we're getting it done right away. Okay, so we are having Skyline Chili for lunch. I had the three-way, which is, if you don't know what Skyline Chili is, it's chili on spaghetti with a buttload of cheese. And then these are the, what are these called?
Conies.
These are conies, which is basically a chili cheese dog, right?
Yes.
A cheese and bean hot dog? Okay, very fun. This is a very Ohio thing, so I am very excited to eat like the local people. Culture. Right, we are heading into Area 72, the new land here at Kings Island. This opened in 2020 along with their Giga Coaster Orion, and of course Flight of Fears factored as well. Yeah, very excited to check all of this out. Oh my goodness, there's theming. There's theming! Look at this! Volunteers needed today for Orion. Well, I volunteer as tribute.
I volunteer as tribute.
And right here we have the Meteor Canteen Consumption Station. Oh, that's so funny. And there it is, the big blue beauty itself, Orion. There it goes. You know when your mom tells you not to throw rocks? That's why. It makes a big mess. Don't throw rocks, people.
I've never been with this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this one's really cute. And of course they got squishmallows and little rocket ships. Okay, just leaving Area 72 now. And yeah, those were a couple of great coasters. So first we did Flight of Fear, which is a Premier Rides launch coaster. Super fun. Reminds me a lot of Rock and Roller Coaster. Maybe better. If they had music, it would be for sure. The theming in the queue and in the station was so cool. Like, it's all alien themed, and when you go on the ride, you go into the UFO. So yeah, just it surprised me. I wasn't expecting that much theming, and I really appreciated that. And same could be said for Orion. Oh my goodness, what a fun ride. Like, I know it's not the best Giga Coaster out there. I will agree, it's probably the weakest one that I've been on, but it's still super duper fun. Like, it's still a Giga Coaster. You can't go wrong. And there's some great moments of airtime, especially the second last airtime hill was great. And that wave turn, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is mine. I love wave turns, so yeah, I'm very happy with Orion overall. And again, the theming and the queue, all the little Easter eggs, holy crap. If you are into Kings Island history, you will want to stay in that like pre-show area. And that's the thing, they have a full-on pre-show, like a briefing video, just like you would expect at a Disney or Universal attraction. So amazing. That whole area of the park gets my stamp of approval for sure.
It's my first Giga, so I'm absolutely in love with it, 100%. And y'all can come for me, that's fine. But Flight of Fear is my second favorite coaster at the park behind the Bat. Again, you can come for me, that's fine. But Flight of Fear, I love with all my heart. I love the theming. That was one of the coolest themed areas. We spent a ton of time looking at that theming and find those Easter eggs, and that was one of the most fun things I've ever done, just sitting there and trying to figure out everything. I loved it. It was like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle. Yeah,
it was very fun. I really enjoyed it.
They have a monster ride here. Okay, just came off the monster. Those rides are so fun. And the ride operator was pretty great too. He was so funny and had some great interactivity while we were waiting there in the queue.
That was probably the most I've ever spun on Monster. It was one of the funniest. I cannot get over how good those rides are. I just wish there were more out there. I really do.
No, we were both like laughing and wheezing and coughing the whole time. Oh, it was great. And now comes one of the most historical, most iconic coasters here, the Racer. Okay, Adventure Express is officially my new favorite regional park mine train. That was so fun. I mean, first of all, the actual ride experience was a little more whippy and a little more faster than some of the other mine trains out there. And then there's all this theming, like they had temple ruins, they had on the last hill animatronics, like the freaking eyes of Mara, like that was awesome.
I was super excited because they actually had the spears working in the spear tunnel that like poke out at you. It still kind of freaks me out, which I know it's not going to get me, but honestly, it truly is such a good effect on me every time. You got the snakes, you got the fire, you got everything. It's just such a good coaster. It's such a fun middle-of-the-road family coaster, and the theming just makes it excellent.
So my phone has been in the locker for a hot minute, so we've actually done a few coasters since the last time I've updated you guys. But starting off with the one you can see here behind me, Banshee. I love this speed. It's so much fun. There's a lot of great elements on this ride, and I kept like going through and saying, oh, this is my favorite moment. Oh no, this is my favorite moment. So yeah, I think this might be my second favorite invert overall. I'll have to check back next week to see if Montu still stands as my #1, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely way up there. I especially love the barrel roll at the end because I wasn't expecting it, and you go through like kind of slowly, so it's just an awesome, yeah, it's just an awesome moment. After that, we went over to the Bat, which is the aero suspended coaster. Now, it's more or less the same layout as Vortex at Canada's Wonderland, which is one of my personal favorite coasters. Now, Vortex is nicer looking because it has the mountain and the lake, and it's a little more intense. But I mean, the one here is still fine. I had a lot of fun, but I do have to say, if you love the Bat at Kings Island, you're gonna love Vortex even more. And finally, we did Invertigo, which is the Vekoma inverted boomerang, because, you know, if boomerang and an SLC wasn't enough, why not combine them? So that was super fun, and it was raining when we did it too, so it was just a lot of craziness and a lot of rain and a lot of chaos all happening at once, but it wasn't that rough actually. I mean, I've learned how to ride Vekoma SLCs pretty well, so they do not bother me at all. And yeah, I was kind of nervous for this one, but it was actually a really great experience. And I mean, I've always wanted to try one of the inverted boomerangs, so I'm glad I got to do one here. Okay, for those of you who know your Kings Island history or who have seen my Cedar Fair Dark Rides video, you'll know that Kings Island used to have a ride called Phantom Theater, and look at that, they have the well, their version of a doom buggy here. That's so cute. Of course, they did have the Phantom Theater show this summer, which is unfortunately all wrapped up. Of course, they end it before we come, which we're mad about, but that's okay. Maybe they're hinting at a Phantom Theater return. That's what I want.
Bring it back for Haunt.
Yes, do it. I dare you, Kings Island, do it. I leave the country and I still can't escape the mother. Yes, that'll be bleeped. But hey, look at that view. Pretty nice, except for them. Ew. Okay, so at this point we've done all the major coasters, except for the ones in Planet Snoopy, but we are headed up the Eiffel Tower, which I'm excited about because I didn't get to do that when I was over at King's Dominion. So this is kind of like my Eiffel Tower redemption. Four people walk into a haunted elevator.
Not here.
314 feet, that's 1/3 behind the actual Eiffel Tower. On the way up to the 265-foot platform, there are just a couple rules we have to go over. There's no eating, drinking, smoking, vaping, or running up there, and also Ohio State law, since you cannot put anything over the sides, that doesn't include spitting. Any questions about that? Awesome, that little boy. There's someone dressed the exact same I am. They can answer any questions you might have about the parks or any areas, basically anything you see. If for any reason not, you can always ask me to help it back down. You guys can stand there as long as you like, or until close to sitting around 8 p.m. These rotating doors over there. Excuse me. Oh, my legs still work. How do we go, guys? Like, stop working. Guys, come on in. Be careful the first
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Hello, Kings Island. Okay, and then down there is Planet Snoopy, which is the only part of the park we haven't explored yet. We'll probably get those credits for missing tomorrow, such as that one and that one. I'm not sure what they're called here, but yeah, we'll get those tomorrow. Of course, we always got to get our carousel shot of their beautiful, beautiful carousel. This one's really nice. I think this is one of the nicest carousels I've seen. All right, we just got some re-rides on Mystic Timbers, Diamondback, and as you can see, we're just coming off of Orion. I mean, all of those rides are even better than our ones earlier today, in my opinion. Yeah, but that concludes our first day here at Kings Island. It was honestly an amazing day overall. We got to do all of the major coasters. We are missing a few credits in the kids area, but all of the, you know, the main attractions we got done, plus 3 rides. And the nice thing is that we barely had to wait for anything today. Like, our longest wait was maybe 20 minutes, and that might be stretching it. So we really got to relax and take our time with the park. And we have a whole tomorrow ahead of us to do more. And yeah, it's just been a great experience so far.
Tired, I had a great day, and I'm sorry for tomorrow. I can't wait to get some dinner and sleep and then get right back here. Mood.
Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to edit this as a 2-parter or do it all as one big vlog. If this is a part 1 of 2, I'm gonna insert a proper ending here. All right, and that does it for part 1 of my blog and review from Kings Island. Like I said, I was already falling in love with this park by the end of that first day. And you know what? I didn't really need the second one to feel like the trip was complete. I mean, like, just with that first day alone, I feel like that entire trip was totally worth it. However, I am so glad we got to return for a second day, because coming up in part 2, we get some re-rides on some of my favorite attractions that I experienced on day 1. Plus, we get to hit all of those little things that we missed. Things like Phantom Manor, the train, Planet Snoopy. Plus, we try some of the 50th anniversary food offerings around the park, and I experienced my very first sky coaster with Extreme Skyflyer. I don't know exactly when I'll have part 2 ready, but oh my gosh, I am so excited to share that with you and to continue this saga. Of course, Scott will also be returning for part 2, and oh my gosh, I just gotta say, meeting Scott was just... It made this trip even better than it already was. I mean, Scott and I have been best friends for so many years. We met through another channel that we both love, Gavin and Patrick. Shout out to them. But yeah, we had known each other for years on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. But this was our first time meeting up in person for years through the virtual space. You wouldn't know it. Instagram, all that good stuff. So Scott, thank you so much for coming along with me and joining me on this trip. You wouldn't know it. This whole experience wouldn't have been the same without you. Scott, thank you so much for joining me on this trip. Also, if you want to follow Scott on Instagram and Twitter, you can follow him at Scott. Thank you so much for coming along with me and joining me on this trip. All that good stuff should be popping on the screen about now. And yeah, if you would like to see more theme park, travel, local, and outdoor adventures, wouldn't have been the same without you. Please consider becoming a subscriber. You're amazing. You can also find me on social media at ADB Parker and on TikTok at Adventures with Parker. As always, big shout out to my patrons for all of the extra support. If you want to follow Scott on Instagram and Twitter, you can follow him at and I know I've been down across all social media platforms and stuff. All that good stuff. Trust me, more is coming. And if you would like to get in on that action and support this channel for as little as a $2 a month, head on over to Patreon.com. If you would like to see more theme park, travel, local, and once again, thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, the adventures are calling. See ya. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to edit the... Oh.
You can be 1, 2, 3. I think you can do better than that on the count of 4. Reserve the 4, 1, 2, 3.